Collective, forbidden knowledge has always been available to the chosen few. While ignorance has held sway over the many, Coptic sage on the sacred rope journey manifests an end to said ignorance. Enjoy the journey. Okay, collective. So, in our last video, we introduced the influence of Angels Tarot Deck. Beautiful tarot deck created by Jody Baginski Barbesi. This deck, oh my god, took my breath away. The imagery of this deck was off the chain. I mean, when you take a look at the Renaissance style artwork, the depiction of each angel, here we have a chariot card, absolutely beautiful. The 8-pointed star right there on the wheel of the chariot. Here we have the cipher, and this angel is actually standing inside of a Vesica Pisces, if you can see it. So the symbolism coupled with the artwork of the masters, it's exquisite. And while it is done with the artwork of the masters, it is done in the tradition of the Rider-Waite tarot decks. Same numbering system, same basic symbolism. Can't get over it. It's just a beautiful deck. Alright, so within the deck you'll find suit and number meanings. Very useful tool, very useful reference guide. They feel great on the hands. It's not as glossy as the traditional Rider-Waite deck that I have. This deck has blue backing, very nice coloring on the back. It's a looser deck. It's easier to shuffle straight out of the box. Influence of Angels Tarot Deck, a worthwhile purchase. Now, as you may well figure from the flavor of these videos, the Coptic Sage Sacred Rope Journey explores the spiritual traditions of the earth and prefers to objectively appreciate the diversity of the expressions of the divine. Angels as a concept originated from the Zoroaster tradition and was adopted by the adjoining Western Asian cultures to find itself an integral part of the Judeo-Christian and Islamic cultures. I guess you could say angels are potentially a unifying force of God. Now, as for my journey, well, it's personal now, isn't it? But I am here. This is the platform. My journey's been diverse. I've delved into the Far Eastern cultures, the African cultures. I've delved into the Western Asian cultures and some of the Native American cultures, and I found the mix that was right for me. Now remember, we are both physical and spiritual beings. As such, we do have histories. We do have past, we have present, and we have future. This is the world of the 3D. In my 3D, my ancestors are African. My ancestors could be from anywhere on the continent because I just don't know. Slavery changed a lot of things for a lot of people on both sides of that whip. But I tell you one thing that never changes is we are all seeking a higher purpose. I'm going to read an excerpt from the book of the Hoodoo Tarot Deck written by Tiana Lee Mackillar. It states, Hoodoo is a culture, an inheritance with a distinct lineage in North America. It is the product of people who face terrorism and unimaginable suffering on a daily basis, yet refuse to relinquish all of their power and identity. Hoodoo, in addition to being a body of botanical and Esoteric knowledge is also rebellion against absolute mental and spiritual domination by Europeans. This is another expression, collective. This is another reality of a spiritual journey of a people. Now, another segment of this very well-researched book, there's a section on Cardamancy. Cardamancy is divination by means of interpreting cards. Traditionally, playing cards were the only cards used by root workers because that was what was available to them. However, for root workers, the manner in which the cards were prepared to be read and the meanings attributed to the cards were different from mainstream Cardomancers. As hoodoo relies on the ancestors and the Holy Spirit, individual root workers would have their own method of conjuring both to ensure that all negative energy stayed as far away from the querent and themselves as possible. Remember, card reading is an energetic snapshot in time, intuitively realized. Spirit knows and sees all, so ask Spirit. You'll get the answer you seek. So, the equivalency here with Rider-Waite is the King, the Queen of Swords. Interesting. And guess who they're next to? They're next to Temperance. So you tell me, what do you think that question was? So, in this video, we reviewed the influence of Angel's Tarot deck. We also explored the world of hoodoo with the Hoodoo Tarot deck. Additionally, we took a wander into the mind of the traveler known as the Coptic Sage. Yes, this is our journey, collective. Enjoy it. Now, I'd like to read an excerpt from a book written in 1892. It's called A Voice from the South by a Black woman of the South. The poem goes as such. I am the prophet of the dusky race, the poet of wild Africa. Behold, the midnight vision brooding in my face. Come near me and hear me, while from my lips the words of fate are told. A black and terrible memory masters me, the shadow and the substance of deep wrong. You know the past, hear now what is to be. From the midnight land over the sea and the sand, from the green jungle, hear my voodoo song. A tropic heat is in my bubbling veins, quintessence of all savagery is mine. The lust of ages ripens in my veins and burns and yearns like venom sap within a noxious vine. Was I a heathen? I was, am still, a fetish worshiper, but I was free to loiter or to wander at my will, to leap and dance, to hurl my lance and breathe the air of savage liberty.